So that's Vic over there, Vic Link. We have been in business together for, I don't know, 20, 25 years. We have built 6 of these different companies together. Well, she did 2 before me. I did 2 before her. And so it's together 4, but each of us are like 12 now. But we built the last 4 together, and we do experimental teams. The thing that stands out most about what we do is that we do it faster than other people in those same companies. And we have almost always done that. And what I'm going to show you today is the core of how we managed to do that. Because it's not things that are really hard for other people to get, like they could say, oh, you went to Harvard. Okay, great. So I didn't go to Harvard. What am I going to do? Or, oh, you are, I don't know, 119 years old. I'm not that old. What am I going to do? Or, oh, you're skinny and I'm fat. Or you're, this and I'm that. Those things that are always so irritating, right? Like somebody comes in and blows it out of the water in 90 days and they're making all this money, 10,000 a month. And you think, well, what's wrong with me? And the fact is they have a story. They just didn't tell you about the story that came with him. It's like you go out and play tennis at your local tennis court and somebody's playing and you get on the court and they wipe you out in 5 minutes, you're 6-love, right? And then you think, man, I must be really dumb. And then it turns out the guy is a retired Jimmy Connors, who was Wimbledon #1 champion for I don't know how many years. That is his story. And if you didn't know that, you would think you're the dumbest thing on the planet. It's like Einstein said, if you judge a goldfish by its ability to climb a tree, the goldfish will feel stupid forever. Does everybody understand that? If you're just starting, you're not supposed to know how to do it. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to mention that I'm going to tell you stuff today that probably nobody has ever told you. Number 1. Number 2, it goes against everything that you probably have ever been taught in your network marketing career by your upline, by your sideline, by the industry. And I want to be sure that this is okay with you, because you're mostly going to go, oh, they would never allow me to do that. Or, oh, they would never allow us to say that. Or, oh, we could never do that. Or they wouldn't let us do that. Are you good with me telling you anyway? That's part of the reason what I'm going to teach you is so scary, because other people that are in the business, your upline, many of whom are not making any money, by the way, they're very bossy for people who don't make much money, but they're going to tell you don't do that. And I'm going to tell you, here's how you judge whether or not you should do anything anybody says, whether it's me, whether it's Russell Brunson, it doesn't matter who it is. Is what you're doing now giving you the results that you want? Yes or no? That's number 1. Number 2, do you want to keep doing the kinds of things that you're being taught to do? Are those things that you think are you? Is it authentically who you are? Yes or no? 3, do you really want to build a big network marketing distribution network of people that are loving what you are doing for them by giving them products that actually help and change their lives? Yes or no? So if you want to be able to do that, but you can't stand what you're doing and you don't really want to do what they're telling you, how are you going to build it? So you have to do different. And I want to teach you a way that we've done it, because we couldn't stand it either. We got the same stuff you did, Don't think it's any different. We just decided to try something else when nobody was looking. And then when it worked, it was like, oh, what are you doing? We want to know all about it. So are you ready for that? So the tables have turned in network marketing. Here's my proposition, what we've discovered. Talk to fewer people, not more, and get more customers. It's a new paradigm in the network marketing business, and I'm delighted really to introduce it to you. So if you want to know what to say so that people who are looking for what you have, what you can do for people, so that they go, me. If you want to position yourself so other people see you with respect as an advisor instead of a product pusher, right? If you want to have confidence that you have a clear path to owning a big distribution network of people that love your product, love you for introducing it to you, and might even be bringing more people in. It's kind of like Tesla has all these recharging stations all over the world, and General Motors and Ford and many of the other companies are just renting them for their car owners. Why? Because he's already got the distribution network. That's what you want, because the company will do the promotion of the products and things like that. And if they send out an email and you have 10,000 people and 1,000 people buy a product that day, you're going to get a big set of volume and probably a big fat check. Am I right? Tell me yes, no. And if you don't want to feel like you're begging and chasing anymore, if you know you got to stop acting like a desperate seller. Some of you feel like you're desperate. This is the last person I know. If they say no, I don't know anybody like that. And it's hard when you're desperate. It's hard, believe me. You don't want to lose your friends over your business. What I'm going to show you how to do, you will never ever lose a friend. I can promise you, hands down, no exceptions. You have to do it the right way. I'm going to show you. But if you do that and say the words I give you, you'll never lose another friend. Isn't that weird? I mean, this industry is known number one for losing friends. What is it? The NFL, no friends left. Yeah. And then if you won't feel like a failure who can't sell, because with this approach, I'm going to show you, there will be a line to your door. You just have to do it right and learn to do it right. Okay. So you're going to discover this new network marketing paradigm. You'll be the first really to see it. And here's are some of the pieces of it. Why you should never ever lead with, begin the conversation with a text or the audio on the phone, however you do it, with the product, the company, or the science. I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't do that and why you want to do something different instead. What to say so you never position yourself again as a product pusher, right? We don't want to be that. And then the real reason network marketing is so difficult for so many people, including former top sales reps for big companies like IBM. And secondly, the second part of this, why the answer to your troubles is not talk to more people. They all say that. It just drives me nuts. It is not talk to more people. What are you doing? Just talking to more wrong people. How many wrong people can you stand to talk to every day? Like if I'm selling hats and I talk to 100 people and 99 don't wear hats, I'm going to get 99 no's, not because they don't like my hats. They don't wear hats. And unless I want to do conversion therapy, unless you want to do therapy and say, no, look, Mr. Jones, I know I don't know you, but you need to be wearing a hat. Let me tell you about the value, the virtues of wearing a hat. And before you know it, you're seen as one of those pests that, oh, God, close the door. She's coming with her hats again. You see? So it's not about talking to more people. The copy paste scripts that you get for social media, all of you probably give them out and have discovered what happens. You just look cheap. And what you want to post instead, I'll show you that. And then why, I'm a friend of Russell Brunson, so we're not dumping on ClickFunnels, but a lot of you have bought tools like his ClickFunnels. And what's happened is you don't know how to put the words in there. So you buy this tool, you pay $297 a month or $97 a month, and you get all these templates and you think, oh man, this is it. Now they're going to start coming. But then it says, okay, so what's the first, what are you going to say? What's the subject line? What are you going to say inside that template? And you go, well, let's see, we have the greatest product and it works at the cellular level. And so you start that and you put that out and nobody responds. You get the glazed eyes. If you don't know what to put in there, you can have all the tools in the world. You haven't got it, nothing's going to happen. Some of you, have you experienced that? I'll show you how you do this. So, and why should you listen to me about all this? A few of you are new. Some of you guys are here and are in our programs already. But for those of you that are new, we had the exactly the same issues years ago. First, nobody signed up. Then when they did, they dropped out faster than we could put them in. My first company was the water filter company. At the time it was called NSA. It's changed its name now. But that's what they had, the water filtration and the air filter. So that's Vic over there, Vic Link. We have been in business together for, 20, 25 years. We have built 6 of these different companies together. Well, she did 2 before me. I did 2 before her. And so it's together 4, but each of us are like 12 now. But we built the last 4 together and we do experimental teams. The thing that stands out most about what we do is that we do it faster than other people in those same companies. And we have almost always done that. And what I'm going to show you today is the core of how we manage to do that. Because it's not things that are really hard for other people to get, like they could say, oh, you went to Harvard. Okay, great. So I didn't go to Harvard. What am I going to do? Or, oh, you are, 119 years old. I'm not that old. What am I going to do? Or, oh, you're skinny and I'm fat. Or you're, this and I'm that. Those things that are always so irritating, right? Like somebody comes in and blows it out of the water in 90 days and they're making all this money, 10,000 a month. And you think, well, what's wrong with me? And the fact is they have a story. They just didn't tell you about the story that came with them. It's like you go out and play tennis at your local tennis court and somebody's playing and you get on the court and they wipe you out in, 5 minutes, you're 6-love, right? And then you think, man, I must be really dumb. And then it turns out the guy is a retired Jimmy Connors, who was Wimbledon #1 champion for I don't know how many years. That is his story. And if you didn't know that, you would think you're the dumbest thing on the planet. It's like Einstein said, if you judge a goldfish by its ability to climb a tree, the goldfish will feel stupid forever. Does everybody understand that? If you're just starting, you're not supposed to know how to do it. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to mention that I'm going to tell you stuff today that probably nobody has ever told you. Number one. Number two, it goes against everything that you probably have ever been taught in your network marketing career by your upline, by your sideline, by the industry. And I want to be sure that this is okay with you, because you're mostly going to go, oh, they would never allow me to do that. Or, oh, they would never allow us to say that. Or, oh, we could never do that. Or they wouldn't let us do that. Are you good with me telling you anyway? That's part of the reason what I'm going to teach you is so scary, because other people that are in the business, your upline, many of whom are not making any money, by the way, they're very bossy for people who don't make much money, but they're going to tell you don't do that. And I'm going to tell you, here's how you judge whether or not you should do anything anybody says, whether it's me, whether it's Russell Brunson, it doesn't matter who it is. Is what you're doing now giving you the results that you want? Yes or no? That's number one. Number two, do you want to keep doing the kinds of things that you're being taught to do? Are those things that you think are you? Is it authentically who you are? Yes or no? Three, do you really want to build a big network marketing distribution network of people that are loving what you are doing for them by giving them products that actually help and change their lives? Yes or no? So if you want to be able to do that, but you can't stand what you're doing and you don't really want to do what they're telling you, how are you going to build it? So you have to do different. And I want to teach you a way that we've done it, because we couldn't stand it either. We got the same stuff you did, Don't think it's any different. We just decided to try something else when nobody was looking. And then when it worked, it was like, oh, what are you doing? We want to know all about it. So are you ready for that? So the tables have turned in network marketing. Here's my proposition, what we've discovered. Talk to fewer people, not more, and get more customers. It's a new paradigm in the network marketing business, and I'm delighted really to introduce it to you. So if you want to know what to say so that people who are looking for what you have, what you can do for people, so that they go me. If you want to position yourself so other people see you with respect as an advisor instead of a product pusher, right? If you want to have confidence that you have a clear path to owning a big distribution network of people that love your product, love you for introducing it to you, and might even be bringing more people in. It's kind of like Tesla has all these recharging stations all over the world, and General Motors and Ford and many of the other companies are just renting them for their car owners. Why? Because he's already got the distribution network. That's what you want, because the company will do the promotion of the products and things like that. And if they send out an email and you have 10,000 people and 1,000 people buy a product that day, you're going to get a big set of volume and probably a big fat check. Am I right? Tell me yes, no. And if you don't want to feel like you're begging and chasing anymore, if you know you got to stop acting like a desperate seller, some of you feel like you're desperate, this is the last person I know. If they say no, I don't know anybody like that. And it's hard. When you're desperate, it's hard, believe me. You don't want to lose your friends over your business. What I'm going to show you how to do, you will never, ever lose a friend. I can promise you, hands down, no exceptions. You have to do it the right way. I'm going to show you. But if you do that and say the words I give you, you'll never lose another friend. Isn't that weird? I mean, this industry is known #1 for losing friends. What is it? The NFL, no friends left? Yeah. And then if you won't feel like a failure who can't sell, because with this approach, I'm going to show you, there will be a line to your door. You just have to do it right and learn to do it right. Okay. So you're going to discover this new network marketing paradigm. You'll be the first really to see it. And here's are some of the pieces of it. Why you should never, ever lead with, begin the conversation with a text or the audio on the phone, however you do it, with the product, the company, or the science. I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't do that and why you want to do something different instead. What to say so you never position yourself again as a product pusher, right? We don't want to be that. And then the real reason network marketing is so difficult for so many people, including former top sales reps for big companies like IBM. And secondly, the second part of this, why the answer to your troubles is not talk to more people. They all say that. It just drives me nuts. It is not talk to more people. What are you doing? Just talking to more wrong people. How many wrong people can you stand to talk to every day? Like if I'm selling hats and I talk to 100 people and 99 don't wear hats, I'm going to get 99 no's, not because they don't like my hats. They don't wear hats. And unless I want to do conversion therapy, unless you want to do therapy and say, no, look, Mr. Jones, I know I don't know you, but you need to be wearing a hat. Let me tell you about the value, the virtues of wearing a hat. And before you know it, you know, you're seen as one of those pests that, oh, God, close the door. She's coming with her hats again. You see? So it's not about talking to more people. The copy paste scripts that you get for social media, all of you probably give them out and have discovered what happens. You just look cheap. And what you want to post instead, I'll show you that. And then why, I'm a friend of Russell Brunson, so we're not dumping on ClickFunnels, but a lot of you have bought tools like his ClickFunnels. And what's happened is you don't know how to put the words in there. So you buy this tool, you pay $297 a month or $97 a month, and you get all these templates and you think, oh man, this is it. Now they're going to start coming. But then it says, okay, so what's the first, what are you going to say? What's the subject line? What are you going to say inside that template? And you go, well, let's see, we have the greatest product and it works at the cellular level. And so you start that and you put that out and nobody responds. You get the glazed eyes. If you don't know what to put in there, you can have all the tools in the world. You haven't got, nothing's going to happen. Some of you, have you experienced that? I'll show you how you do this. So, and why should you listen to me about all this? A few of you are new. Some of you guys are here and are in our programs already. But for those of you that are new, we had the exactly the same issues years ago. First, nobody signed up. Then when they did, they dropped out faster than we could put them in. My first company was the water filter company. At the time it was called NSA. It's changed its name now, but that's what they had, the water filtration and the air filtration. And people dropped out faster than we could put them in. And we followed the party line. Everyone will want this. Share it with anybody who can fog a mirror. Treat everybody as if they're your prospect. You know, we bought into all of that. I did at the time because I thought, well, this is the way the business works. Let me try it. Talk to more people. 100 a day. We did. Vicky's done it. I've done it. Some of you probably done it. So I told my upline, you know, a super successful lady, that this wasn't really working. I had all these people come in and they came in at $5,000. The water filter packages were $5,000 at that time. And most of my people came in at that number. And I said, you know, they were going to come to a training and like 3 people showed up out of 30. And she says, oh, Kim, that's normal. Most everybody drops out in her little Southern drawl. Oh, Kim, that's normal. Almost everybody drops out. It's like, oh. So I told her, I have never heard anything like that in my life until then. And I really was speechless. Why would anybody be in a business where you know most people drop out? I mean, why would you want to do that? So I told her I would probably quit too, because it's really a dumb business. What kind of business model is this? Most people quit, right? And so I had a real estate business and I told her, I've got real estate agents and they've never dropped out like that. I had like a dozen, 10 or 12. Nobody had ever dropped out. And it's the same thing as network marketing. There's the broker, might be the upline, right? And you find people, you're looking to find people to recruit them and train them to either list properties or find the tenants or find the buyers, whatever it is. But that's the nature of the business in real estate. It's the same thing here. It's just we get paid on multiple levels in the network marketing model. But nobody had dropped out of my business. And so she says, well, the Miss Upline, you know, she's the queen of that company over there. She said, still to this day, before you quit, would you try something? That's like, okay, what should I try? And she says, recruit your next reps the same way you recruited your real estate agents. That's what she said. And I thought, well, I guess I could try it. And it changed everything. At that time, I mean, I don't want to go into the details because we don't have that much time and it's not really that relevant. The specifics of it, I have a class actually on it. But what happened is I had run newspaper ads This was 27 years ago. And they had classifieds. And I ran newspaper ads for my real estate reps, and I ran newspaper ads for the water filter reps. And I just compared the ads, what I said to call them in. I compared the ad that I had gotten from my upline in the water filter business, and I compared the ad that I had written to pull in my real estate agents, none of whom had ever left. And the ad, it was completely different. And 4 months later, after we did dozens and dozens of recruiting tests, and I changed my ad to be my real estate recruiter ad instead of the water filter recruiter ad. After 4 months, we sponsored so many people, they invited me to present at the national convention because we had achieved the top position in the company faster than anybody else had in their 25-year history in that time. So what I want to teach you now is what we did. You guys want to know what that is? Let me see. All right, so I didn't make a whole lot of slides about my story because if you don't realize here that what I'm just by tuning into it, if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't really matter what I've done. We just built a lot of these companies. But I wanted to tell you that there's one distinctive thing about how we do it. And as far as I know, I'm the only person who teaches network marketers how to screen prospects before you present what you've got. I don't think anybody else does it. They all teach you, all of them. Talk to everybody and just, go as fast as you can. And the other thing is I have been around a really long time doing this. So that audio there, So You Want to Be a Networker, was a big hit. And we made it in the early 1990s. So I just want you to know, have been there, done that. And I try to put myself in front of as many problems as I can so that I can learn to react to them in different ways. And that's why I stay in the industry for so long. Plus, I love the spirit of the people who really have a product that they think makes a big difference. How many of you, did you ask Vic, how many people here on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe in your heart of hearts now? No posturing is necessary, right? How much do you believe on a scale of 1 to 10 that your products can, or your business can really help people a lot? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, would you say, well, they can help a little bit, or I am like a 10, totally, oh my gosh, if people just knew about this, who want it, it would change their lives. What are you, 1 to 10? How much do you think you can really help people with what you've got? What do we have here?
Over a dozen 10s so far, and a 9.
Good,
Mhm.
Good. Well, that's what you want. Now, if you don't have that, it doesn't mean you should go home and cry in the bed. It just means that you want to find a product or a company that has something that helps people, it helps you, and that you can really get behind. You really want to have something where you can totally, without reservation, be behind it because it's helped you. That's primarily all you're ever going to know is it's helped me. And of course, you'll have a lot of stories and other people's stories, but for your personal confidence, what helps the most is somebody says, well, how do I know it's going to work? Say, well, I have no clue if it's going to work for you, but it worked for me. And what if it works for me, for you, the way it did for me? Do you see how that works? Okay, so what we did, we've used this exact process to build 6 companies to the top, and the last 4 Vic and I did together. So I'm going to show you right now. By the way, we call somebody who does the scary things that I'm going to show you right now. We have a name for people like that, and we're trying to grow them. We have a few of them already, but there's a name for people who are willing to do these scary things, and that is the positioned network marketer position, because you're going to lead with a position in the marketplace and in the mind of every person who ever meets you as far as your business is concerned. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. So here's the question for you. How committed are you to becoming more successful and more profitable with your network marketing business? How committed? 1 to 10. Give me some numbers. Let me see. Well, if I have time, I'll do it. How about this? Well, I'd like to for sure, but I don't have anyone to talk to, or but I don't have money, or but I don't have time, or but. That's a 5. You just tell it like it is, because if you're not doing anything and there's a reason, then you'll know you're choosing not to do anything. It's okay. And then how many people are 10? I want to become successful. Yesterday, what do I need to do? And I'll set aside an hour a day for a year to learn how. That's a 10. All right. It's easy to be committed one day, and then the next day it's like, oh man, did I really want this, right? So how many 10s do we have here? Do we have some 10s?
Oh, lots,
I'm hoping we
lots.
have a few.
A good 12 at the least.
Okay, cool. All right, so here we go. Break time, intermission. So I have 4 steps that I want to show you one in a little bit of detail, and I'll mention the others that are coming because I want to, we have at the end of this for some of you that want to really get into this and do it. We have a class, a mini course, a 3-week course to show you how to do all the steps. But let me show you what these are. First of all, none of the steps is taught in the industry. So if you say anything to anyone in your upline, it'll be, oh my God, that can't be right. And again, ask yourself, remember, do you want to build? Do you want to have a distribution network of people, of hundreds and maybe thousands of people? Are you doing it now? Do you love what they're telling you to do now? Do you look forward to doing that every day? And if you don't look forward to doing it and you don't want to do it, how likely are you to be successful? So if the answer is, I don't really want to do those things, I don't like those things, then when somebody tells you this is not the way to do it, and you know that the way they're telling you doesn't really go with you, then you make a decision. Am I going to dare to be different? Do I dare to do something different or not? And just keep still about it. As we talk, we did all of our stuff without any permission. We stopped asking for permission. Why? Because they'd always go, oh, Kim, leads don't work. Why? Well, they're not duplicable. And my answer was, so what? I'm the one doing it. I don't care if it isn't duplicable. I don't care if nobody else can do it. I'm doing leads. If somebody wants to do leads, I'll teach them. If they want to call all the warm market, they can do that. Whatever they want to do, let's get good at it and do it. And my style of building is different than somebody else's. What is duplicable is a system. If you have like a binary or you have a breakaway, the quote unquote duplicable part is not how you bring the people in. No, it's not your personality. It's not how charming you are. It's not whether you wear a hat or not. It's, do you have a way to reach people who say, yes, I want this, who buy the product and who order every single month? And if you fill the right circles on the wall in with people that are buying every single month, you will get exactly the same income that anyone else is doing who fills those same circles in with people that are buying the same thing every single month. Do you all understand the distinction between how you bring the people and your personality and your experience and your history versus filling in the circles on your pay plan? Once they're filled in, you quote unquote get the same money as I do or Vicky does or Tony Robbins does. But how they bring them in and how many they bring in because of who they are and their experience will always be different and therefore not duplicable. Tell me, do you guys get this or not? Tell me yes or no. Make sense? Let me see.
Yes.
We got it?
Got it. Yep.
So we did these things without permission. We just realized we had to keep our mouth shut and do the thing. Well, and then of course the volume started coming in because we started recruiting people, right? Bringing in customers. And they would say, oh, what are you doing? We see all this volume. And it's like, what are you doing? So are you good with that? Keep it on the QT until you start bringing in orders and then volume starts. And guess who sees it? Your upline. And then they'll ask you what they did for me. Come to the national. Just do it and keep quiet about it until you get it to start working. How many people say yes? Yes?
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes, yes, yes.
So this is in 4. There are 4 pieces to this, 4 elements to becoming what we call a positioned network marketer. And number 1 is problem positioning. Now, what is that? You might go, what is that? It's where when you begin, you open your mouth, whether it's your mouth or whether it's your typing, whether you're texting, whether you're emailing, you lead with the first thing you talk about is a specific problem instead of the product. It's a problem that your product has helped you with. Does that make sense? I'll show you how to do it. Just, do you see the difference between starting with a problem that you have solved for yourself versus leading with the product and that it works at the cellular level and yada, yada, yada? Who sees the difference? Anybody not see this? So you're opening the conversation, talking about a specific problem. I will show you how to do that. A lot of ways to do that, that your product has helped you with. How many of you here are on products or using something that has made a difference? Something got better. Let me say a me. How many me's we got, Vic?
Well, they're just starting to come in. First one. Me.
Or if it, yeah, it's either helped you or somebody really close to you, like your hubby
Yeah.
or your child or your mom, okay?
Yep, several.
We got it? All right. So when you introduce your thing, the first words you use, if you're going to be part of the new paradigm as a positioned network marketer, are never about the company or the product or the science. That is never the opening thing. I know traditionally that's all you see online, right? Like I warned you, this is going to not be anything you've heard before. Okay, and why do we not do this? You know, this here? It's not the product or science because it doesn't work. Have you noticed? People laze all the time. Here you go. Oh my God, I got this great product. You're gonna love it, Aunt Lulu. You got to see it. You got to see it. You got to do me a favor and try the product. And it works at the cellular level and it impacts the DNA and the RNA. And oh my God. And she goes, oh, honey. Oh. Glaze, oh. Because that isn't how people search. When you go to the drugstore, you don't say, hey, I want something that works at the DNA level or the cellular level. You say, I have a headache. What do you got? What do you got that's not going to kill me? You know, some toxic thing. Isn't that how it is? Do you really go in there and say, I want something that works at the cellular level? I mean, they think something's wrong with your head. So why do we pitch in a way that nobody normal asks for? Okay, so that's why we don't do that. We talk about having a position, a spot in the mind of the other person. Not about that. So no talking about the thing. Not the money, not the company, not the product, not the income, none of that, not the thing. Okay, not about that. It's what we call it is problem positioning. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So it's not about the thing, the company, or the science. And you want to know, well, why do we describe a specific problem first? How many people want to know? You know, we like you a lot, Kim, but you know, this sounds pretty crazy. Does anybody know why you might want to do this or curious about why you want to do this? Why would you do this?
Well, yeah, me. Tell me.
Yeah, right? Because we are all looking 24/7 to solve our problems. Right now, there's probably somebody here thinking, I wonder how long she's going to go. I'm hungry. I got to eat. Because that's a problem. Because you have a conflict. You're listening to me. You think, well, it sounds pretty good. Maybe, you know, who knows? But I'm hungry. What am I going to do? I don't want to miss anything. Right? What are you thinking? Why are you here? You don't have enough customers. You figure there has got to be a better way to do this. I can't be the only dummy in the room. So we're looking to solve problems. We're not looking for something that works at the DNA level. Suppose like problems like I'm hungry or I have a toothache. And when you are scanning on Facebook or anywhere, Twitter, you name it, you're always looking for stuff that to entertain you while you're bored. That's the problem. Or you see something, go, oh, look, she lost weight in 4 weeks or 3 dress sizes. And oh my God, she didn't have to eat rabbit food. Let me see what she did. Because your brain is scanning for stuff that you want that you don't have. That's called looking for something. Okay. So let me show you how this works. Or you might say, I have to fit into my skinny jeans before my high school reunion in 6 weeks. We have people who say that. How many people want to fit in their skinny jeans before the high school reunion in 6 weeks, right? Where you're going to see hoo-ha. The woman you can't stand or the girl you can't stand took all the boyfriends or all the girlfriends. Or you might say, I have to start some kind of side hustle because I'm out of a job in 90 days. These are things that are in our mind. You know, one of the greatest copywriters of all time said, if you want to interest someone in what you have to pick up with the conversation that is going on in their mind, not your mind. They're not thinking about that you need another person to hit a rank. No, They're not thinking about, God, if I don't get this done, I'm not gonna make my rent payment or the mortgage. Nobody's thinking about us. I hate to break it to you. They're thinking about, I'm out of a job here. I got to get a side hustle because I don't want another job. This is somebody's going on in their mind while they're searching or watching whatever's going on Facebook or wherever they happen to be online or offline for that matter. Does everybody see how this works? Tell me, yes, you get this, right? These are our conversations. All of you are having these in your own mind right now. All right. So when we as humans decide that we want something enough, we look for a way to get it. And so we're constantly scanning. It might be in the back of our mind, in the middle of our mind, but in the front. But the minute you see, oh, look, I want to do that. Right. Okay. We look for a way to get it. So like a specific problem, like I'm hungry or I have a toothache. What do? You order food. Right? Or you make an appointment with a dentist. Am I right? Yes or no? You got this? Are you sure we get this, Vic?
Yep.
Say you're thinking, oh, I got to fit into my skinny jeans before my high school reunion in 6 weeks. Pretend somebody here is thinking that. It's probably somebody thinking that. Right? Or the college reunion or the church reunion, right? You got to do it before then. I got to get those skinny jeans out. So you're scanning in your mind for a fitness or a weight loss program. I mean, yes, you got this. Or I have to start some kind of side hustle because I'm out of a job in 90 days. There are people who are thinking this at this moment. I would bet that there's somebody here who's thinking, I got to have this side hustle of mine here work because I'm out of a job in 90 days. How many people are here like that? I bet you there's somebody. And then what are you doing? You're checking out side hustles. How to do network marketing and build a big giant distribution network without ever talking to your family and friends. If I put that out there and you were looking for some kind of side hustle, would you want to look and see what that is? A network marketing, a big distribution network of all these people? You mean like cable TV or like the internet? Like that? You're like Elon Musk has all these charging stations all over the world and everybody has to pay to use them. Yeah, I like that a lot. So you're scanning side hustles. Do you see this? Are you with me? When somebody, and that's all of us as humans, when we're actively seeking a fix, or even medium actively, it's kind of in the back of your mind, for a specific problem. I got to fit in those jeans. Damn, I got to do something about the site. I got to get some money because my company's going under or I'm quitting or whatever. I have a toothache. If I don't do something, oh my God, I'm going to, what's going to happen? I might need a root canal or, lose all my teeth and look like somebody really old, like a bag lady. Everybody has that going on. Or my kid, this, or my grandma, this. So you want to be in the path of somebody who's looking for a problem that you have already fixed for yourself. Does everybody see that? Who gets it? You want to be in that path. So you just imagine you're like a speed bump. They're going down the road scanning for, I got to lose 3 dress sizes. And you have, oh, Lulu lost 3 dress sizes just in time for the wedding and the night of the wedding. And she didn't even have to eat rabbit food. Click here if you want to read how she did that. If you're looking for, something like that, that is going to be a speed bump. You're going to stop. Oh, slow down and look. Oh, I wonder what she's got. Let me click. And you do a few things. And if what you're offering fits that person, their experience of what they want to do, you're likely have a customer. Do y'all see that? Are we getting this? Because they're looking for a fix for a specific problem. I got to get in shape in so much time. That you have fixed for yourself. So your position, if you're positioned right out there, if you put yourself out there in a way that with your words and your imaging, that they see that you're that person who knows how to do that, they'll bump right into you. That's what it means to scan. You'll be the speed bump. Now you tell me, do you think you might not get more customers faster if you did that? Yes or no? Let me see yes or no. Would you get more? Yes or no? If people were bumping into you who were looking for the fix that you got for yourself. What do we got,
Yes.
Vic?
Yep. Oh, it's coming in. Yes. Exclamation
Yep.
mark. Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what you want to do? So how do you describe a specific problem? So for today's goody, I'm going to give you the little formula so that you have it. And then you can go right ahead and do it. If you want and test it, there's a lot of ways you can do this, but I'll give you the formula to help you describe the problem that you got solved. Okay, that'd be very helpful for you. So first, can you remember a problem that you had before you tried your program that went away, at least some, after using the product or the service? Okay. Can you remember a problem that you had before you tried your program that went away after using the product? How many people here say yes? Let me see the yeses. Yes or no? Yes or no? You got it?
Yep, coming in.
And it can be you or your mom or a child, somebody very dear to you, okay?
Mhm.
Here's example. Before, so you're talking about this, right? People would run when they saw me coming. Remember before we said that the greatest copywriter of all time said that in order for us to connect with people who have the problem that we can solve, we have to connect up with conversations that are going on in their mind. And so we know what some of those are because we each have one of our own. And we're going to match us. We, each of you, for whatever problem you had a before and after life, I was blind, now I can see. There is a market of likely tens of thousands of people who have that same problem. And if you put it out there, they're the one, like a dog whistle, they're the ones that are going to hear you. And you don't hear any no's because the other ones, they don't, you're not on the same frequency. Do you understand this? So somebody might say, oh, before people would run when they saw me coming across the street, right? Or I couldn't sleep through the night for years. There are people on this call, I think, who said they have had trouble sleeping, couldn't sleep for years. Or I couldn't lose those last 20 pounds no matter what I did. I tried this, I tried that. I couldn't lose the last 20 pounds. These are things people think in the world regularly, all the time. Okay. And so the strategy to describe your old problem, you go back to the time when you still had the problem and it pretty much went away, right? So use this structure, the before, it's called the before and after. It's in the orange book that we have. So you can write this down. Before, blah, blah, blah. Okay. For the last 5 years, I couldn't sleep through the night. That's your before. So we got that? So you could say before I couldn't sleep, but you want to give it a little more context, a little bit more flair, a little bit more of a story. So for the last 5 years, I just couldn't sleep through the night. So people go, oh, really? Yeah. I've struggled to lose that last 20 pounds for 4 years. Okay, here's another one. Maybe not. I drove people away from my business with the words I used. How many people feel here that in your network marketing business, you're driving people away with the words that you're saying or posting on your page or that you're direct messaging? Any me's here? Anybody feel like they're driving people away? What do
Oh,
we
yeah.
got, Vic?
Yep.
Yeah. Or struggle to lose the weight. Okay, so this is your before, and people have this in their heads. Can you do that part? Now imagine this. Picture putting it out there on your Facebook or in your DM or in the description of what you do, that you have discovered a new way to sleep through the night, right? Might someone who cannot sleep through the night and who was looking for a fix want to know what you have? Yes or no? Tell me yes or no. Y or N. Put it in the chat. Let me see.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Here's another one. So might you be the speed bump that they would slow down for? You want to be a speed bump for all the people that are looking to fix the problem that you have fixed for yourself. Because you're putting it out there. You got this problem, we might be able to help. Okay, another one. Picture that you put out a story about a mom who finally lost that 20 pounds. You're putting that story out there. And there are ways to write stories. Might another mom who's been struggling to lose that last 20 pounds, might she want to know what you have? What do you think? Yes? Might your post be the speed bump that she slows down for? Now, the people that might be on your Facebook page, if they're not interested in losing weight, are they going to slow down for you? Will you be a speed bump for them? Yes or no? You're only going to be a speed bump for people that happen to be looking to get rid of that last weight. And if you do it right, many of those people who have that problem, and that's what they're thinking about right now, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, how am I going to do this? You'll be a speed bump and they'll pause to see what you have. Now, here's another one. Let's say you learn this kind of marketing that we're talking about here. So you are on the new paradigm where you have positioned yourself for the problem you can solve. And you can do one problem 1 month, you can do another problem the next month, because sometimes you'll say, oh, not only I have all this energy now, I'm not tired and dragging around anymore, but also I can go number 2 now all the time. And I used to be plugged up for weeks and months. One at a time, just do one problem that you put out there at a time, one, and get a whole bunch of customers for that one problem. Then you can do another one. Are you with me? Just one at a time. Because like, how many shirts can I put on? I've got a few in my closet. I just put on one right at a time. This is it. That's kind of what you see. I don't have 4 shirts to show you all my shirts at once. This is the same. Because remember, you're connecting with somebody in their mind visually too. So let's say you put it out there that there's a new way for network marketers to attract buyers. Let's say that. So my network marketers want customers who want customers and aren't getting any. Might they want to know what you've got? That's why you're here. You want what she's got. I mean, I'm not getting any customers to see what she's got that's new and different, right? So here we are. Are we good, Vic? Does this all sound reasonable to you?
Very.
All right, good. So if you learn how to describe a specific painful problem that you had and only hint at, don't tell, a mysterious different way you fixed it for yourself, you think you'll attract somebody who might be looking to fix that very same thing as well? So here's my question for you. Do you want to learn how to describe a problem that you solve for yourself so that those people who still have it can contact you to get help? Yes or no? And you maybe get another customer. You're going to learn how to do that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, some of you, see, the other option is just do what you're doing, which is contact every single person that you see on the street, that you talk to, and just say, hey, I got this great thing and you want to join my business. That's the other way. That's the way everybody does it. They all do that. So the choice here is between leading with the problems that you have fixed so that the only people you talk to are those who still have that problem. And that requires planning how to do it versus just calling 100 people on the phone with no plan. Say, hey, I got this great thing. You're going to love it. Can I tell you what it is? Click. And you do that 100 times a day and maybe you get one person. When you learn this, you talk to 3 people and generally 1 or 2 come with you. So it's plan and get, basically enroll 8 out of 10, or don't plan and talk to hundreds and hundreds of people and get your 1 in 100 where they might have the problem that you know how to fix. Does that make sense? Let's see. Yeah, they say work smarter, and that means for us, it's just a smarter way to work. I can't stand all the no's. That's the reason we developed this, but it takes planning. And that's why we have a class for it. Okay. You don't need a class to call everybody in the phone book. You just start calling, say whatever they tell you to say and see what happens. And maybe in 3 weeks, you'll have somebody if you're still above ground. Right.
True. This is true.
So there are 3 other steps. I'm not going to go into detail on them because there's not enough time, but the second step is you need to describe and learn how to describe the scary consequences if they don't make the change, don't make the fix. Why? So they act right now versus later. You see what I mean? So they act right now versus later. The scariest are consequences. Like, I'll give you one right here. Let's say that I'm going to offer some of you a chance to get into a little mini course that we're teaching. And I'll tell you right now, it starts July 17, and you will have a chance to learn how to become what we call a position network marketer, where everything you do is, this is who I am. It's like an eye doctor for your child or a heart doctor. It's like Dr. Fix My Heart. Who comes to him? People who want their heart fixed. And if he specializes in people who are, say, men over 50, for example, or women over 40, or children who are between 6 and 12 years old who have heart trouble, the only people coming to him are people who have children who are 6 to 12 years old and who have a special heart problem. The line is waiting out the door. You see, that is the consequence. And so if you do not take me up on this offer and you want to have a chance to change your business, then the question is, when you're 80 years old and you've done your business and tried to do it on your own and you're still basically nowhere, would you regret that? Is it worth it to you? What's the cost of doing something now? And this is for you, for any problem that you have. If you don't lose the weight, what are the consequences? What happens to people who are obese and don't change? This could happen, that could happen, this could happen. What's the greater cost? What I'm teaching you to do is exactly what we will show you at the end, because in the end, if you have something that helps people, you want them to take action now. So if they know what the consequences are of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and maybe never getting to it, there are some people who go, you know, the cost of not fixing this is going to be 100 times the $500 or $2,000 or $100 that it's going to be if I do this now. And so you do it. It's like the dentist who says, well, you want the crown now, or do you want to have everything pulled out in 5 years and you're going to have, what do you call, dentures? Which one do you want? And it's because we all have regrets, but we live every day as if we live forever. And you don't. One day you're 78 or you're 73 and you go, God, I've not done anything with this business. I never learned how to do it. Right? So what's the greater cost? So you learn how to position with scary consequences, because you have a whole module on that. And the scary consequences are like so cool. But that's why. So people act now versus later. You see? Step 3 is I'm going to show you how you can tell people how your thing is special. Why? Because if somebody's looking for weight loss or energy or more income, they want a side hustle, they will have already checked out other options. That's why. So you are, and I am just an option. You see what I mean? All of us are options to people looking to solve a problem. For weight loss, you could do fasting. You could do intermittent fasting or digestive resting. You could go to the workout, do workouts. You could go to, you know, like a fat farm, like the Golden Door. You could do meditation. You could do water fasting. You could do juice fasting. There are hundreds of ways to lose weight. So what you want to know is how your thing is different so that you stand out from the other options. And that's a really important thing for people to have. Like, how's this different? Well, you don't have to have rabbit food. Really? Yeah. How's this different? Well, you don't have to change what you eat. Really? And don't go to the gym. Yeah, really? How do you do that? Oh, well, that's what this is. So each thing that you've got, all your products, if they're any good, will come from a philosophy. Like we recommend, we have a product for people who are taking daily pain meds because they have daily aches and pains. And what do we got? Well, this is for people who know they want to get off the pain meds. Really? Yeah, without putting anything into the body. So that is what's different. You got aches and pains, you're on daily pain meds, and you know you want to get off? Well, here's a way to get off. Have the same effect almost as a drug, fast, right? 12, 13 seconds, but nothing goes into your body. So there's nothing for you to have a side effect about. You see that? You need to learn how to do that. And it will never be, the difference will never be some scientific thing because people don't care. They expect everything to be scientifically proven. So when you start talking about that, they think something's wrong with you. It's a style, like people who want to get rid of pain medications because they realize being on drugs is not going to be good for them. Is that everybody? Oh, no. Big pharma is the biggest industry in the world. Everybody is looking for pills for everything, for feeling good, for losing weight, for getting their sex back, growing their hair back, I mean, it's like, it's the place to do. So if you have something where a person didn't have to do that, there will be a slice of the market, hundreds of thousands of people who say, I want to do that without the drugs. I want to build my self-reliance. I want to be free from dependence on the government or on drugs or my parents or my brother-in-law. That's what you want, okay? Step 4, discover the silver tongue secret. Some of you go, oh, I can't talk to people. You know, she can really talk to people or he can, but I can't. But there's a way to develop a silver tongue. People often say to me, Kim, you got this gift of gab. Yeah, let me tell you how we got it in this thing. The gift of gab is being good at talking to people, the ones that you want, in a way that will impress them or persuade them and go, yeah, she's got it. I want that, right? And why? You need to communicate so that you connect with your audience and no one else. Like you've developed a very classy dog whistle, and it only calls the people that have the problem, specific problem that you have solved for yourself. That's what and there's a very specific kind of language around communicating to people who might want to buy what you have. And just want you to learn how to do that, okay? We discovered that we could develop this. I'm going to teach this to you in this little 3-week class. And, you know, I thought I'd give you an example and then we'll hang it up here. I'm going to show you a way that we developed our skill in the silver tongue world. How many of you want to develop a silver tongue in the first place? Let me hear. So that, because otherwise I want to skip this example. Let me see. Who wants to develop a silver tongue? Vic, isn't that the expression?
Oh, yes. Yeah, there's several yeses on that one. People want silver tongues, Kim.
Yeah, you want to. So, I mean, you know, if you're going to be a smooth talker, right? But not to take advantage of people, but to make sure that the right people see what you have. Remember, you're connecting with the conversation in their mind. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Okay, this is one of my favorite examples. So here's what happens one day. We made Aunt Lulu an offer for a skincare product. This was many years ago. Aunt Lulu, oh yeah, you're gonna love this. It's so good. It's my new business. It's a great skincare product. It works at the DNA level, the epidermal level, and blah, 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 blah. So Aunt Lulu said, yeah, okay. And of course, you got to see this. You have to, do me a favor because I'm, a new blah, 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 blah. And so she goes, okay. So she tries it because, of course, you sample the whole world, right? Those of you that don't know, you sample hundreds of people and pretty soon you realize that that's not really what you want to do because you're calling everybody back and nobody's calling you back. And oh my. So, but this is in the days of the person we were helping with this, that's kind of what she was still doing, samples for everybody. So Aunt Lulu tries it. You liked it? Yeah, I did. When it worked, yeah, I did it. But then she says, so you're thinking, Aunt Lulu, you're going to buy, I got a customer. Yeah, score. Then she says, but honey, it's too expensive. And you can just hear the music. Boom. Right. That's kind of like. So then when you recover, you get up and you sober up after you have a few drinks because you're so mad at your Aunt Lulu. You think, I hate you forever and your kids are ugly and I always hated your house and all that stuff that you want to hate on whoever said no like that, right? Because you give them a sample and everything, you're all emotionally hung up with this. So here's what we did. We helped the person recover and say, okay, now go back to her and say, okay, I got it. I'm so glad you tried it. Can I ask you a couple things? Right? You laid back, totally laid back. So do you use skincare cream now, Aunt Lulu? She goes, yeah, I use Pond's. And then she says, and you ask, so how much is the Pond's, right? How much is the Pond's cream? She goes, oh, it's about $6 a jar. And one jar lasts me 2 months, honey. Yeah, it lasts me 2 months. Okay, do you see the disconnect here? Watch this. Our skin cream that this gal had was $85 per month. See the mismatch? Who sees the mismatch? So we wanted to make sure this didn't happen again because this poor girl was, she nearly was, she was so unhappy. She said, how? And then she used a sample and I gave it to her and she didn't know what to do. So we figured, okay, you're going to have to develop a silver tongue for this skincare product so that you don't get this again ever. And we told her what to do. She did it. She never heard it's too expensive again, ever. You want to know what we did? Let me see. Let me see here. What do we got, Vic?
Do it, Kim. Tell.
So the next time when we described the product, here's what we said. We didn't say, oh, you're gonna love it. It's this great thing. It works at the epidermal, and it's and you please try it. And it's my new business, and it's a great product. And yada yada. Here's what we said. We have this product, and it's a skin regime. It's a little skincare regime. for somebody who is always obsessing about their face and how it looks, and who loves regular facials. They're always trying ways to look younger and more radiant. We never heard it's too expensive again. Why? The kinds of women that do facials, that obsess over their skin, that go to the Golden Door, they don't complain about an $85 a month skincare product. If you are one of those of whom I am pretty much one, they'll say, well, what is wrong with it? How come it's only $85? It sounds too cheap. You know, years ago, I went to a wonderful spa for many years in a row called the Golden Door. And the women there, like Christy Brinkley went there, and just all kinds of well-known people who are wonderful when they're not in their all of their garb, you know. And they use products like La Mer. And a small jar, you can look it up online, of La Mer is like $2,400. A jar of cream, girls and boys. Now you may think, oh, that's terrible. They should be giving money to the poor Chinese or whatever. Get over yourself. Just get over yourself. For every type of product, there is a scale based on high end. You got the Bugatti cars. What are they? $1 million or something, or the McLarens or something. And you may think that's terrible. Nobody cares really what you think. I hate to break it to you. Nobody cares what I think either. But there are people who buy that McLaren just so they can show people they have it for whatever reason. Doesn't make any difference. Some people have big cars or big houses, and then they're low end. You know, you can buy a Yugo, I think, for $2,000. So you have prices for people, because people are all different all over the world. There's not just us. And the same with skincare. There are people who obsess about it and they spend thousands of dollars, and they may have nothing else, but that's what they do. And when you call out who it is that you help, you need to call out and communicate the kind of person that you're looking for, so you never hear it's too expensive. Does that make sense? Instead of telling Aunt Lulu what's wrong with Pond's cream and how it's toxic and they shouldn't be using it, you'll never get invited to her house for Christmas dinner again. Never. Who's got this?
Mhm. Yes.
Huh? So the 4 things that we learned that we will show you how to do if you want to become a positioned network marketer, instead of somebody blabbering and hoping to God that somebody's going to say yes. You lead the conversation with a specific problem that your product has helped you with, and there are ways to do that. You describe the scary consequences. Why? To get them off their duff and make sure they're real. And the scary consequences, you know, if I have time, I am really heavy duty into AI right now, learning how to use the AI chat to do things I never even dreamed were possible in the time that I have. I will show you how to use the Chat GPT so that you can dig up scary consequences other than the ones that you have in your own mind to put out there when you post. And, you know, we might be able to get that, because the AI can make you so much smarter than you already are. Number 3, describe the special sauce. What's different about this? It'll never be a scientific thing. People don't relate to that. What's different about this? You don't have to eat rabbit food. Oh, really? Yeah. And what's different about this? There are no drugs. Nothing even goes in your body. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, cool. Use the silver tongue secret, which are all of their objections. Once you know what they are, and people give them to you all day, most people just hang up the phone and cry. No, you ask, why didn't you want to buy it? It's okay. Tell me why. And every one of those tells you who is not your market. And pretty soon I would say, for example, the class I'm going to offer here at the end is not for people who think that that they see me do it, and that doing that is going to enable them to do it right away too. Why? Because you have to practice. It's like if I teach you tennis, or if I have a tennis instructor, and the tennis instructor goes on the court and shows you how to serve, or how to do a backhand or a forehand or play the net. What makes anybody think that the minute they get a tennis racket in their hand, they'll be able to do the same thing? Yes or no? Can you play like your tennis teacher plays when you're learning how to play tennis, even though you just saw what they did? You heard them say the words, you saw your footing, you saw your hips, how you're supposed to do it, and you get up there and the whole tennis racket flies right out of your hand when you're trying to serve. right? So you have to practice putting it out there. And if you're somebody who, really doesn't like to practice because you're going to look like an idiot, then you won't improve. No amount of watching a tennis video is going to make you play better if you'll never get on the court. Do you know what I mean? It's like Bruce Lee said, if you want to learn how to swim, you've got to get in the pool. You want to learn how to box, you got to get in the ring with somebody else. You want to learn to play tennis, you want to learn to communicate, you have to talk to the people who might be and we'll show you how to do it so that it takes the least amount of time. How many people are up for that? Want to learn how to do it? Position yourself so that people who are looking to fix a problem that you have fixed come directly to you. Why? Because you're the speed bump. You're right there. Is that clear, Vic?
Yes, super clear.
Put yourself out there so that others immediately see you as the revered advisor who has solved the problem they are looking to have fixed. Right? That's what's going on. And feel confident that you have a clear path to hundreds and even thousands of customers you can help with the same problem you had. I can assure you that unless you have a product that is completely ineffective, there are thousands of people, probably 500, right in your city or the nearest big city who would want what you have if you just positioned yourself so that those who are looking for that go, oh, I want to see that. Oh, I want to see that. Okay. All right. So if you want to not feel like you're ever having to beg or chase, if you want to get rid of the usual rejection because you're only talking to people who come because you are their doctor fixed by heart. Right? That's who you are. Somebody who's got a fix for a heart that's a problem. And that's all that you want to talk to. You know why most people can't make it work as a business? Even some of the best salespeople at IBM that have been in downlines of people that are friends of mine, because they tell you completely wrongly that all you need to do is talk to more people. It is the opposite. Talk to fewer, way fewer people. Do you all see why that is? Who sees why you need to talk to fewer people? Y'all
Yes.
get this? Just checking
Yeah.
on you.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So that's how we built all these companies, the last 6 to the top over 29 years, and usually faster than anyone else in the company. And we run an established high ticket coaching program. They're not as high as some of the ones that I've been in that are like $100,000, but Russell Brunson's has one. I think that is it $250,000 for the year? And you have access to him on Vox and whatnot, and people do it. They'll mortgage their house for it. Why? They want access to Russell. Why? Because they can say, okay, Russell, I got this problem. How am I going to fix it? And he said, well, what I would do is this, and they do it. And when the problem is fixed, they have 100 new clients. So they make 10 times what they pay. So it's like you invest in yourself and in your know-how so you can practice it, of course. And that's what we do. Our high ticket, the highest price we have right now is just $15,000, but we do exactly the same thing. Call out, position ourselves for certain kinds of people, and that's who comes. Nobody else. So the phone's not ringing off the hook. We don't want the phone to ring off the hook because it's mostly wrong people wasting time, your time, because they're bored, right? So let me ask you, are you happy you came? Can you see yourself applying what I've shown you here and changing your business life bigly?
Hey, Kim,
Yes or no?
can I have you a couple of questions that people are popping in?
Yeah, totally.
This might be a good time. One is, how
Sure.
long before I post about the problem, the same problem? Yeah, how long should I wait before posting about the same problem? That's the question.
Oh, post different ways all the time. What you're going to do is you're going to post about it and then see if you get a reaction. If you don't, in 24 hours, make a new post. At some point, based on what you're going to learn how to do, you have to learn how to post. Communication is the skill that most people don't have in this industry. It's called marketing. Nobody learns, teaches how to do marketing. But you're going to post. Sometimes I'll have posts and I'll get 200 responses. And sometimes I have a post and I get 3. Sometimes I have a post and I don't get anything. So it's always an experiment. You never know for sure. It's like when you hire a lawyer who charges you, I don't know, $2,000 an hour, they'll tell you there are no guarantees that we can win this case. But you hire the lawyer and pay the most money to give you the best chances of success. So you're going to put out as many times, you may have to put it out 20 or 30 times until you connect with the audience. So that's the skill set you have to begin with. And one advantage network marketers have is that most of you have solved a problem for yourself. And so starting there with that story, if you learn how to do that, it might be 5 or 6 posts that you have to put out there before somebody says, yeah, I'd like to know what that is. And that's how it begins. It's a whole learning process, like learning how to play tennis. You got the backhand, but now you got to practice. You see what I mean? So be willing to practice your way to success. It might be 10, 15 times that you have to post, and post in different ways. And we'll show you the different templates that there are. And at some point you will connect with a person who has the problem that you are happy that you had fixed with what you've got. So you do it and do it fast, every day, every day, every day. Okay.
And here's a second one. This is kind of a combo with 2 people asking, how does somebody apply this method, not to health related products, to business, to the business side of it?
Oh, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Like, for example, if you know that my company's going under and I've decided I don't want to really be an employee anymore, I want to start a business of my own, what are some of the options? And you do a little research and find out what those options are. And you could post, if I show you, say, 3 options for a business you could do on your own, that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, would you want to see the options? And then I'll post them. Whoever says yes is somebody telling you that they're looking for something, for some extra income. Do you all see that? Tell me yes, those of you that are asking the question. So you have to generate interest. You can't just go and say, hey, I need somebody to sign up. You want to sign up with me and make a lot of money? No. Why? Because they're going to say, how much are you making? So there are ways to reach out to people who thinking, my job's going to end soon, or I want to quit soon. I want to have something of my own. So you want to put something out there that responds to that's going on in their mind. Like the truth about network marketing. It's really not about talk to a whole lot of people. It's talk to just a few people. Would you like to know how that works? Would you like to know how to do a network marketing business and never talk to your friends and family? Yeah, I'd want to know. Great. Who wants to know? The people who might want to join you. Do you see? And then you begin that conversation. It's like a dating process. You don't normally ask people to jump in the back seat on the first night. Now, some people do because they don't realize it's like a dating process, but it's kind of like that. We can take some more questions here at the end. Let me give you the things here for those of you that want to come into our little mini course. So, okay, tell me the questions at the end, Vic. So we've got about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, and that's probably not going to change your whole life. Although some of you are going to be able to go off and do some of this on your own. So, but there are some of you who want to build like this and have an impact and have a happy cash flow coming in. And so you want to get in the pool with us and learn how to do that. And so we have created a little mini course for you. It's not a high ticket program. So you want to see what that is? For those of you that would like to have some hand holding in this process of learning these 4 things. Let me see.
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. So the latest mini course we have is called the Positioned Network Marketer. It's 3 weeks. That's it. And then you will know how to do it. It's like learning backhand, forehand, service, net game. And then you got to start practicing what to do. We all understand this, right? Knowing and hearing French for the first time, and then you actually saying it, there might be some time before you can say it as well as what the person said it to you. You see what I mean? It's like learning a foreign language. Oh boy, once you learn it, oh, it's good. So what is it? So the 3-week class, it's going to be 3 group coaching sessions. which means in this class that I've got planned, I will be accountable to you to help empower you to do these things and practice the things so you can become somebody who actually has a business that is giving you happy cash flow. The second thing is there will be support, because it's hard to go by yourself. All of you will be in it, or some of you will be in it. Other people, we've already got people signed up for it. But going alone is the worst way to become successful. Plus, our community of people thinks very differently than the rest of the industry, who is wanting you to make 100 calls a day to anybody and just see if somebody will say yes. Okay, so that's why our being with our community is a little bit easier. And encouragement, why? We've all been where you are. There's nobody who starts and just hits it out of the park. The people who do have been in 10 years, they just didn't tell you. They've built 5 businesses, they just didn't tell you. Okay, so success is not really an event. It comes after you do consistent effort and focus on it. But in a year, you could be making 2,000-3,000 more per month than you're making right now. But it has to come if you really want to help those people. And you can see yourself as having a cash flow coming in from all these happy clients, you know? So it's a series of group coaching sessions over 3 weeks with what you need, which I'll be giving you. And here's what's in it. The specific problem. We're going to show you how to, you create several of the different before and afters where you can position yourself so we can help you with the language. The scary consequences and special sauce. That's going to be week 2. What are the consequences you can put out there if the person doesn't do something right now? What is the special sauce that you can say, here's how this is different from something you may have looked at? Not other network marketing companies only, but all products. All right. Number 3, the silver tongue. How do you get your messaging tested so that you've got the dog whistle for exactly the person that has the problem that you can solve? So that's who comes in, whether it's income or the product fix. Okay, that's really what we're doing. How much is it? Well, you know, our highest ticket program is 15K, 15,000. We have smaller programs for like, you know, 1997. And so we thought maybe to help change your life and become what we call a positioned network marketer instead of a product pusher network marketer, that $997 would be a fair price to change the trajectory of your business in 3 weeks. Like for us, that's totally did it for us in the first 3 months. So, but we decided we wouldn't charge that because it's a funny time in our history. It's a funny time in economics. And I think you have to make your own economic world here. But for people who are here, who really want to change and build your business like this, we want to make it easy to say yes. And that's why we decided to make it $495 for you to invest in our mini course that starts a week from Monday. In fact, a week from yesterday. Yeah, next Monday, July 17th. That's what it is. And if you would like to see the registration page, that's what this looks like. Can you see it here? Vic, you want to put the link in?
Yep, there it is.
It looks like this.
Mhm.
It's going to teach you how to become somebody who is a position network marketer, and all the scary strategies I've just given you are what you're going to learn. And I would caution you, if you want to get into this, so you can be one of the first to get some of these special bonuses that I'm going to give you in just a minute, get yourself registered and be quiet about what you're going to be doing. Learn how to do it. And just do the thing, test it, learn it, do it, and keep still about it until you learn how to connect with your audience, which is the people that are looking to solve either the financial problem or the product problem. It's weight, hair, energy, sleep, whatever it is that you've got. See what I mean? It doesn't matter what your business is. There are people that are looking for, if somebody say, does it work for this? It works for anything where there's a problem that a person has that you can solve. So if you say, well, does it work for, I don't know, like you said, does it work for income? Well, are there people who are looking for more income? Yes or no? Yes, right? Are there people who don't want to do network marketing? Yes. That's an objection. Remember? So we are going to make the objection something where you silver tongue it. How are you going to do that? Well, there's a way to silver tongue it so that people who even don't like network marketing will come and look what you have, because you're going to point out what it is. But it's not that kind of network marketing. It's this kind of network marketing. It's the new paradigm. It's not the old one where you're going to lose all your friends. No, we don't do that. You see, so you take the objections that you know people have in their mind or that they're going to hear and have those all resolved beforehand. Because in the end, a person wants more income. They just don't want to look like an idiot. Nobody wants to lose all their friends. And that's the first thing every network marketing company makes you do. Go to all your friends and insist that they buy. And this is not any fun to do. That's why everybody talks about no friends left, okay? So this is the order page, and there's a 2-pay, by the way. So you can do the 1-pay for the $4.95, and I think you can split it over 2 months also. Remember, it starts on Monday. Now, the extra bonuses are freebies for people that are really ambitious, okay? And they're free right now. So we have a program called the End of Rejection. It's probably one of the most popular programs that we have. How to end rejection in your business. And it shows you, among other things, countless examples of what we're going to be doing here in this class, but also tells you the little secrets from Henry Ford and John Rockefeller and some of the most interesting people in the world, how they got over feeling like, are they really supposed to be doing this? Is this the thing they should be doing? And how they came to feel that they were called to do this. And when you feel called to do something, you almost don't see you have blinders on. And, somebody will say, well, what if somebody says no? Well, what if they do? You see, if your ego is so big that you can't hear a no, you don't ever want to be in a business for yourself, because it means your ego's too big and fragile. It's just not for you, because you have to discover how to communicate with people who have the problem. And that takes practice. Like, how many times why do you think people play tennis 6 hours a day who are at Wimbledon every day? Why do people box every single day? Why do they practice every day? Because they got to get really good at anticipating and dealing with what comes back from the other side. And once you realize that it's a gift, every objection is a gift. Why? Because you can use it to exclude those people the next time. So your dog whistle, it will only be heard and go to the ears and eyes of those who want to fix the problem that you've got in right now. Because that's what this one does. We have a sales letter that affiliates of mine paid $3,750 for 10 years ago. It's probably worth 30 grand today. And they put that out there and it generated $137,000 in sales in 10 days. I'm going to give you that letter and the analysis of how you can write that yourself. These are wonderful sales letters that people have. And then I'm going to give you Mr. Rogers' $20 million 6-minute speech. Mr. Rogers gave a speech to the Senate in 1960 something, and they were going to cut the whole funding for his the Mr. Rogers program. What was that program called, Vic? Remember the I'm sure you know who Mr. Rogers is. He had the children's program for years and years and years. But they were going to lose the funding, and he gave a 6-minute speech, which is recorded and transcribed and analyzed almost every word. And he earned $20 million, 6 minutes. No hype, no threats. He gave a poem to the senator. I mean, if you knew what it took for people to give you money, you would laugh at how long you've waited to learn to do it. It's really something, you're going to get that. And then the book, If My Product's So Great, How Come I Can't Sell It? We put that there because we have a lot of samples of before and after. That's what we've got for you. So let me ask you, who's planning on coming here on July 17th? And some of you can do a lot of this on your own because you don't want to pay anybody for anything, heaven forbid, right? Not going to give her any money. No, I want to learn how to do it myself. Just know that how long have you been doing this for yourself? How long have you been trying? Some of you have been 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. We had a guy come in the program like some months ago, and he said, I'm 74 or 75. And he said, and I've known about you for like 28 years. And I said, really? So why take so long to come? And he said, I thought I could do it myself. I thought I could do it myself because it sounds so easy. So, all right, now, any more questions? So if you think you can do it yourself, be my guest. You have a lot of information here. And if you want a shortcut, if it matters to you how old you are, before you ever start making any money and enjoying building a big distributorship, if that matters, then the question is, what is going to cost you more? What costs you more? Spending $495 and learning how to do this with us who know how to do this, or spending another year or 2 years or 3 years earning exactly what you're making right now, if that? Which cost is higher to you? Let me see in the chat. What's higher? The $495 or another year or 2 or 3 or 4 staying income-wise exactly where you are right now? What is the cost of that? And what's the mental cost to you? Okay, so that's what I have for you. You have any questions for me? And Vic, you see any questions? Do you see the link in there?
I put the link in there a few times, and let me put my cell phone too, just in case any number of you want to just text and ask me something else or talk to me for a minute. I'm here. And there it is. And Edwin, we have you. You're in. And John, you said you're ready. So there's the link. If you can open it and tell me if it works, if it's clear and you can see it for you.
Oh, good, John. Delighted. I'm so happy that you're here. These are really such good things because I know most of you from what you're telling me you want to do. And I'll tell you, with practice, most of you are a piece of cake. And if you will keep your mouth shut to your upline about what you're doing, with those of you that are coming in now, will you promise just don't say a word. Just become that positioned network marketer where everybody knows. So John's the guy that's got a program for the homeless. Oh my God, he's making all this money. So what are you doing with it? Oh, really? Well, how's that work? Remember, a lot of people that are homeless, if they're not complete drug addicts, many of them have incredible skills. Like they're piano players or they're just all kinds of things. In Venice, I used to live on the beach there, and there was a guy there, an older man, maybe 70, 75, big gray hair. And I'm telling you, in Venice, their beach there, and a lot of that looks pretty greasy, pretty bad. And he's sitting there playing Rachmaninoff like my mother played it. She was a concert pianist. And you just go like, what? And he's living in Venice Beach with all the druggies. And he looked like red in the face, but oh my gosh, could he play the piano? And all those people are homeless over there. That's where they live. So don't be giving up on yourself just because you spend a lot of money. I too have spent a lot of money. Elon Musk has spent a lot of money. Steve Jobs has spent anyone who has achieved Jack Bean has spent time and money and been ridiculed by everybody around them. All progress has to survive ridicule. So if you want to make some progress, expect it to come. But then you know what? When it's over, like Schopenhauer says, they all go, oh, I knew you were going to do it. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah. So can I have a loan, please? I need a quick 10 grand. So no giving up, because you're giving up on you. And why would you give up on yourself? Screw them. Just do your thing. And pretty soon, when you start bringing in that volume, they're going to go, oh. But again, only if you resonate with what we're doing right here. Because if it doesn't resonate, don't do it. Why would you do it? Okay, any messages? Okay, good. And once you get over the fear of, oh my God, I've spent so much, or oh my God, what if they say no? Let your whole ego be aside. I don't know. Some people have to go through way more trials than others. I don't know. You know, I don't know. They just do. But then when they come through it, it's like, oh. So you can't give up so long as you're trying different ways to reach the people that you think you're put here to help. Then once you start thinking about what problem do I solve, then you're not thinking about things like, oh, I need another person in my downline. See, the whole network marketing business, what's it about? Me, 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 me. I want to build a big downline. I want to have this. I want to have that. You're not going to get people to buy from you just because you feel like you need money. You need another rank. So mom, here, give me some money. No, you want to be the one, the go-to person for whatever it is that the problem is that you solve. Like we think we're really good at teaching people how to do network marketing and to be enter our new paradigm. Don't talk to way more people, talk to way fewer people. How? Become a positioned network marketer that occupies a position as someone who is extraordinarily good at helping these people with this problem. Just like a heart doctor, like Dr. Fix My Heart. And how do you know that you're any good without all these big credentials and you didn't go to medical school? Because you did it for yourself. That's why. That's all you need. And so is it going to work for somebody else? For sure. Well, I don't know. What if it does? But what if it does work? And there will be enough people who resonate with you and your energy and what you're doing. They're out there, but you have to put yourself out there so that when they're looking, you're the speed bump. Boom, right there. So, oh, what do you got, John? What do you have, Doug? Oh, what do you have, Ruby? And because they're looking to fix that problem. You see that? Ruby, I'm so glad you didn't give up. Do not give up. Yeah, the restaurant, right? It's like, oh. Yeah, I'll tell you a story about Charles Darwin. I am rereading some chapters of his book because it kind of calms my mind. You know, Charles Darwin's the one who wrote Origin of the Species. And I'll tell you a story about him right now, and then we're going to end. When he came from a well-to-do family, and he was, you know, in the 1800s, early 1800s, and he came from a very well-to-do family, and his father was a doctor, and you know, they're medical people, and you know, established and all that. So Darwin's father told him, okay, Sonny, you're going to go to the medical school and become another fancy doctor. And so Charles Darwin went to medical school. And he discovered that he was bored in the lectures and that he didn't want to do surgeries. So his father got really mad and said, well, you know, this is what our family is doing. What are you doing, screwing up? Because I know you have that kind of a brain. And so the father said, okay, I'm going to send you to a religious school. I forget what you call it. Not a Jesuit school, but a school for priests, you know, like that, to punish him, that he's not going to go to religious school. Well, he goes to this religious school and he meets people there who are becoming priests, but they're also naturalists. They're interested in plants and how the earth works and things like that, you know. And so at that school, he met several people who saw that he was really talented in processing plants and classifying plants and little bugs. And he was just really interested in things on the earth, plants and bugs and critters. And so they said, well, you know, you're really pretty good at this. And it so happens that one of his friends at school, after he graduated, said, you know, now you're talking 1850, right? Like this, like pretty long time ago. And they said, there's a ship called the Beagle, and it's going to go on a 2-year trip. And they need somebody who's like a priest sort, but who's also a naturalist to go with him. So, but the thing is, it's not a paid position. And so you have to come paid for. And of course, you know, his father had to approve it. So the father said, are you nuts? You're going to go on some boat someplace and do this where, you know, you're supposed to have been a doctor. You went to the wrong school, blah, 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 blah. And it turned out that one of the teachers in the Jesuit school, I think it was Jesuit school where he sent them, called the brother-in-law of Darwin's father and said, this would be the best opportunity for your son to make something of himself in this world, to let him go on this trip, on this ship for, which ended up being 5 years, and you should pay for it. And the father said, oh, you think? So give honor to the family, right? So the father paid for the trip. And that was Darwin's first 5-year trip on this ship called the Beagle, where he did all the original work, the initial work that led to the publication of The Origin of the Species, you know, the survival of the fittest and all that kind of stuff. So you never know how things are going to end up to help you somehow go on that path to flower into what you were supposed to be. So for God's sakes, don't give up, whether you take my class or not. Don't quit, do something different. Find a way to find the people that you can help what you're doing or whatever you're here to do. You got it, everybody? Don't quit on yourself. The people that are looking for you, if you don't go out there and learn to dog whistle to call them, how are they ever going to get help, huh?
Mhm.
So go make it happen. All right. Okay, Vic, are we good?
We're good. I'm glad I
Alright.
came again.
Yeah, I'm good. All right, so we'll see you guys soon. Vic, you stay in touch and update me on things, and we'll see
will.
everybody's good. All
Yep.
right, we'll see you
All
later, you
right.
guys. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Appreciate it very much. So that's Vic over there.